My mother refuses to let anyone take my measurements. I just found out the horrifying reason why. I'm 17, and I've never been measured by anyone except my mother. Not once. Not at the doctor's office, not at school, not at any store. Every single time someone tries to wrap a tape measure around me or stand me against a height chart, my mom stops them. She does it politely, but firmly. I'll handle that at home, she says. Then she writes down whatever number she wants on the forms, and nobody questions it. When I was little, I thought she was just controlling. My mom has always been intense about certain things. She homeschooled me until I was 12. She screened every friend I ever made. She drove me to every appointment herself and sat in the room the whole time. I figured the measurement thing was just another weird rule in a house full of weird rules. The problem started when I wanted to play basketball in 8th grade. The coach needed my height and weight for the roster. My mom filled out the form herself, but during the first practice, the coach pulled out a tape measure to verify everyone's stats. I saw my mom through the gym window. She burst through the doors before he could touch me. She grabbed my arm and pulled me out of the gym without saying a word to anyone. I never played basketball. I never played any sport after that. In 10th grade, I needed a suit for homecoming. My mom said she'd make it herself. I told her that was crazy, that we could just go to a store. She said no. I pushed back. I said I was old enough to buy my own clothes. She looked at me with this expression I'd never seen before. Terror. Pure terror. Please, she whispered. Just let me do this. Please don't ask why. I let her make the suit. It didn't fit right, but I wore it anyway because the look on her face haunted me. I stopped asking questions after that. I learned to work around it. I bought clothes online and returned what didn't fit. I skipped the physical exam portion of my sports clearance by claiming religious exemption. I told my friends my mom was just overprotective and left it at that. Last week, my grandmother had a stroke. She's my mom's mother, and they've always been close. We rushed to the hospital and spent 3 days in the waiting room not knowing if she'd make it. On the second night, my mom fell asleep in a chair. Her phone buzzed on the table next to me. I wasn't trying to snoop. I just glanced at it. The notification was from an app I didn't recognize. It said, "Reminder, call Dr. Reese about annual review." I don't know why that made me curious. Maybe because I'd never heard of any Dr. Reese. Maybe because my mom never took pills or went to therapy or did anything that required annual reviews. I picked up her phone. Her password was my birthday, same as always. I found the app. It was a medical portal connected to some clinic I'd never heard of. There was a folder labeled with my name. Inside were documents going back to when I was a baby. Growth charts, bone density scans, x-rays, all dated and organized by year. None of this made sense. I'd never had bone density scans. I'd never had this many x-rays. Then I found the diagnosis letter at the bottom of the folder. It was dated 3 weeks after I was born. It was addressed to my mother. It said, "Following genetic testing, we have confirmed that your son has a rare connective tissue disorder. His bones and joints are significantly more fragile than average. Without careful monitoring, routine activities could result in fractures, dislocations, or internal damage. We recommend avoiding contact sports, limiting physical strain, and conducting annual imaging to track skeletal development. It is critical that any medical professional handling your son understands his condition to avoid accidental injury during examination." I read it 4 times. Then I read the follow-up letters. Year after year of scans. Year after year of doctors noting that my bones were holding steady but remained at high risk. Year after year of my mother driving me to some clinic I didn't even know existed and having me measured and scanned and examined without ever telling me what was happening. She told me we were going to see a specialist for my allergies. That's what she always said. Allergies. I put the phone down just as she woke up. She saw my face and knew immediately. "You read it," she said. I asked her why she never told me. "Because I wanted you to have a normal life. I didn't want you to grow up thinking you were broken. I didn't want you to be afraid of your own body." I asked about the measurements. Why she couldn't let anyone else do it. Because one wrong move, one careless yank of a tape measure, one doctor who doesn't know pulling your arm the wrong way, and you could fracture. You could dislocate. I know exactly how to touch you. I know exactly how much pressure is safe. I couldn't trust anyone else to be that careful. I asked her if I was going to die young. She started crying. "I don't know. The doctors say you're doing well. But every year I hold my breath waiting for the scans. Every year I pray nothing has changed." I sat there looking at my mother, this woman who had spent 17 years building an invisible cage around me to keep me alive. Every weird rule made sense now. Every pulled permission slip. Every canceled sleepover. Every homemade suit. She wasn't controlling. She was terrified. I looked down at my hands. The same hands I'd used to shoot hoops in the driveway, not knowing they could shatter.